Well, good morning. I don't know, maybe afternoon. It's 11:30 on a Sunday. It is hot. The family and myself just got back from tent camping for a couple of nights, and I'm burnt out. Literally, we do sleep on airbags, but it is May and in the 80s, and today's going to be in the 90s, and we're sleeping on a hill. Neither here nor there. Here's what's going on. So, while we were tent camping, my wife had to run home for some things. Anyways, on the way there, she's like, "Hey, got a weird noise. Can you hear it?" Trying to troubleshoot over the phone, I couldn't hear it. So, when I drove it around 35, you get a whoop, 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 whoop. Almost like a tire has a knot or something. So what we're going to do today is try to troubleshoot this. I got a couple ideas. At first I was leaning towards a tire. Now I'm thinking maybe wheel bearing, but it don't have a roar. It has that like just the bump sound. And around 70 it goes away, which scares me because do we have a belt that's detaching? Do we have a knot in the tire? I did kind of look over it. I looked under the car already, trying to troubleshoot it because when we had to drive back home, it didn't want a tire blowout. So, we're going to go through it, talk about a few things, and see if the noise follows. I'll take y'all for a car ride, and we'll see if y'all can't hear it. So, the idea is we'll move. It's the front passenger side tire. I'm going to inspect the tire. And if the tire doesn't show any signs of anything else, we're going to move the tire to the rear. I was going to rotate both, but I want to isolate, hopefully that cycle acoustically, if that's a word. I think it's passenger side, could be driver's side. So that's what we're going to go through today, and I'll carry y'all along, and y'all can just see what happens, and maybe we can learn something together. All right, so a couple of things to note. I always practice a star pattern. I don't think it really matters as much taking off, but kind of one of those things, if I always put it in play, it's kind of second nature now. So I don't know if you've seen the video, just crisscross. That especially matters when you're putting the tire back on, because if the tire is kind of kinked and you run it all the way down here, it's going to lock it down, kink, and then all of a sudden you do that one and all it does is bring it around even more, and then you bring these around and pop, you can warp the rim. This is a pretty thick aluminum, you could risk cracking it. It's just easier I go ahead and get them all started. And then I'll snug this one, and then I snug this one. A couple of things happen also. You can see this one, they have a little bevel. You can see here, see that bevel? So what you do, sometimes your lug nut will be over to the side, and they won't grab that bevel. So when you kind of apply slight pressure, this thing will center back up, because it just naturally wants to because of how the bevels are. So sometimes though, you'll run this down and it'll kind of kink up. It won't bevel like it should. But then when you add a second one, most time it'll grab. And it's real light torque sometimes on these Milwaukees. Let's see. I'm on let me put it down so you can see. So, goodness. Sorry, so that's where the El Camino messed up my finger. We'll do this finger. So that's like your max torque removed. So that's what I use to remove these lug nuts. And what that does on these Milwaukees is, as soon as it detects Siri just picked up again. Oh no, and now my gadget doesn't like it. Let me go over here. As soon as it detects max torque, or a loosening of torque, it will slow down your Milwaukee, and that's good, just because you don't need it. Once you break the torque loose, you don't need to go 200 miles per hour. And then each one of these, this is your lowest torque setting, so it might be a good idea to do a couple of ugga-dugs with this one. And then when I torque them to actually where I'm safe to drive, I go and just put it on 2, and then I take my actual ratchet, 1/2-inch ratchet, and just make sure it didn't get a false torque. So that's kind of the gist on that. So enough about tires. Let's look at this. This tire might be 6 months old, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a knot. And something I learned from an inspector is to just put your hand on it. I'm looking through the camera also, but you're amazed, especially inspecting someone else's work, just putting your hand on some screws. Oh, that's a rock. See, I felt it in my hand, didn't even see it. It felt a lot worse. Sometimes you'll find screws, they're loose. They look torqued, and they just give you like a weird, weird sensation. And I'm moving it around so much because I'm trying to find these tires cover a lot more ground than you think. This tire feels fine. It really does. All right. I don't know. Let me take a break. I wondered the wheel bearing. See about putting it in neutral and see if I can't jiggle this thing around. All right, I have a theory. I'm going to rotate the tires. I think the tires are good. I got the car in neutral, which this minivan. So I guess I should have included that. This is a 2004 Honda Odyssey. So really nice rotors I got off of Rock Auto. So can't move it too much because it goes through the transmission. So it goes front wheel drive. But it didn't really sound like a bearing. Oh, that moves too much, don't it? It should be a floating rotor, but huh. I had another theory. I think that wheel bearing's shot too. 300,000 miles. I don't call that bad. And something else, look at this. I just can't. Up and down motion. And that's kind of like a support carrier to another one. When I bought this Honda Odyssey, the complaint was vibration. And the owner thought that the transmission had went out. These are notorious for transmission failures. So I bought it for $700, and I started off with the basics of just flushing the transmission. He had changed it at 200,000 miles, so definitely had over 100,000 on it. And then we changed some motor mounts, and then we changed something else. I can't remember. I spent about $500 for, finally I changed CV axles, and the vibration went away. So, but I'd only changed from this hub to there. I did not change from the transmission to that support. I don't know if you can see it. It's where the boot ends. Oh, the camera's going crazy. It's a little carrier bearing. So I'm gonna rotate the tires. And since I already got the rear up, but I think that's bad. That shouldn't move at all. That's all bearing play. These are bolt-in hubs. And 300,000 miles, I'm sure they've never been changed. So I'm gonna time lapse you. I'm gonna knock these this rotation out. We're gonna go for a drive. I'm only gonna do this side again so we can have a control. Because we do both sides, then it just makes more suspect, you know. So to the next one. Next clip of the rotation, I'll do a time lapse. All right, mechanic in 101. We'll start back here. I don't know if you see there in a time lapse what I noticed. We're gonna grab the top of the tire, move it. Can't really tell in the video, not moving at all. Grab the side of the tire, move it. What this does, you can even grab the bottom. Lower ball joint, upper ball joint, tie rod. Here's the thing. We're saying we might have a wheel bearing. Wheel bearing trash. That is trash. It ain't gonna fall off because of how these calipers are made. But what you're gonna start doing is we're gonna get some grinding where the caliper loses its tolerances, and it'll start messing up our brake pads. You'll get weird brake pedal feels, road vibrations, just all types of weird noises. This has obviously been bad for a while, I think. We just never knew what's going on. So here, that's it. There's really no need to, we can drive it. So y'all maybe can hear the sound. Yeah, let's see. See what happens. Take you on the road. All right, around 35, you should be able to hear it. This is a pretty smooth road. You hear it? Ooh. All right, to the next one. Everything's ordered. Something I do want to talk about is I use PB Blaster or WD-40 on my lug nuts. That helps just lubricate them as the torque is applied. Just saves the threads, in my opinion. Used to use anti-seize, but I found it just gummed them up over time. It actually made it kind of harder to come off. So I just throw a little bit of PB Blaster, not a whole lot. Put a rag on it, kind of capture a little bit. But anyways, to the next one, hopefully we'll do a video on putting the hubs in, just time dependent. And yeah, hey, thanks for coming. Please comment, like, subscribe. Any feedback is appreciated. Thank y'all.